Hi, welcome to Gavin Gammy. I'm Donna. It's been a week. The world is going crazy. I just don't know what to think about it. I am at high risk because of my health issues, but I'm not really all that worried about it because I'm not a social butterfly to begin with. I do enjoy going to see my friends and hanging out, but I really don't get out a whole lot. Been that way for years. I get out a little bit more now the past couple years than I have in years before. Let me readjust this just a little bit because you got a real good look at my ceiling. I haven't got a whole lot done this week. I've had grandchildren all week. My one daughter has 5 kids, and they've been out of school, and Papa and I decided that we'd help her out by getting one of her kids every day. She's got twins, a boy-girl twin. We got the boy on Tuesday. Then the girl we got Wednesday, and then the oldest boy we got Thursday, and then normally we get the youngest 2 every other weekend for the whole weekend. And this is our weekend to have them, so we've got them. And there's just been all kind of racket and noise in my house. I haven't been able to record. I haven't been able to do much because of spending a lot of time with them. My twin grandson, he wants to learn to loom knit. So I showed him a little bit, but he's coming again next week, and we're going to do a little bit more because the easiest stitch for him to do was the flat stitch, and it just got so tight he couldn't get them over. So we're gonna go to the either we'll do the U-knit or we'll do the E-wrap because I do have some thicker yarn. If I can drag it out, we'll probably do that. The twin girl, she said she wants to try to crochet, but I dread trying to do that because she has like ADD issues, so I can't get her to sit still long enough to learn anything. Looming was a little bit different, but with the crocheting, that it takes some practice, but we'll probably end up giving it a shot. My youngest granddaughter, it was so cute. Last night I was able to one of my podcasters I watch. I know I'm starting to go, don't I? One of the podcasters I watch, a crocheting Hoovian. I've watched her for years, and she has a room on Zoom where she has a virtual knit night. And last night was the first time I'd actually caught it. And that just fascinated my youngest granddaughter. Her and my grandson both sit in here with me for a while. They just enjoyed seeing themselves. But I don't really feel like I can put a YouTube video out with them in it because of all the YouTube nonsense. But they really enjoyed the knit night with Laura Concert, which is the crocheting Hoovian. If you haven't checked her out, go check her out. She started out crocheting, but she's doing a lot of knitting now. She's addicted to socks. She's also a designer, and she is recently getting into dyeing her own yarn. I haven't bought anything from her. I would if I could, but my budget won't allow it. But she's a very no nonsense lady. I like her a lot, and she, watching her podcast is how I found the PHN podcast I'm always talking about. I love those ladies to death, as you well know. Anyway, I hope to catch Laura again on her knit night. When my husband got really, really loud, so I had to leave because my mic was just setting off all the time because of him. but we'll try it again. And I enjoyed the ladies that were there. Some of there's a couple of famous names in there, and there's a couple of us just regular old YouTube watchers and fans. And I enjoyed those ladies too. One of them sang a song to me. Oh, I just I just got so tickled. I loved it. And uh, squirrels have been rampaging again this week. I haven't got much done. Yeah, I'll go ahead and show you my finish objects. I've got a couple with, so I'll show you my finish. I put them in here, and then after I'm ready to donate them, I got another bag I'll throw them in after. They'll either have to be washed or they'll go directly to the bag if my yarn is super soft. I did get a blue hat done this week. So that's a pretty blue. I really like that. I say blue funny, don't I? And then with all this social distancing thing, there's a post on Facebook for a face mask. Now she used a smaller needle than I like to use. I just don't like to use one that small, so I used a bigger needle. So I kind of went off on my own to do this. And this is in that comfy cotton. Goes around the ears. It's like a little hammock. Now this wouldn't be good for keeping away germs. It more or less is supposed to go over a regular mask just to give it some good looks. But I figured I could wear it to keep myself from touching my face while I'm out. That'll keep me from touching, because I'm always wanting to scratch something. I'm diabetic, and a lot of times my skin gets real dry, and I just itch something fierce. And my medical thing doesn't pay for the prescription, and I just can't afford that much. I take so much medicine as it is. And then I was meant to show this last week. I was looking around trying to find what else there was. I did find some yarn in my stash, and I tried the Divine hat. This is actually a beautiful purple. And this thing by Bob Wilson, no, Bag of Day Crochet, one of the two. They both make a lot of hats. Well, anyway, it came out way too big. Let me show you. Oh, me. And it's too loose to be a bit of a slouchy. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this out and take out one row. And then maybe two. And then I know I'm going to leave out one row. I may take out another one, and because you use one size hook for here and another size for here. So I think if I take one row completely out and do this row in a smaller size, it'll shrink down a little bit. So that's my plan for that. And I'll still have some yarn left. See, it's Caron Simply Soft in the color grape. Doesn't really look all that great, but that's what they called it. So I'm probably gonna, now that I've showed it to you, I might work on that this week. And you saw me put the bag under, you're sitting on my desk, and I put the bag under there. That's where I keep it when I'm working on stuff, and I'll throw it down in there, and then after I show it, it'll go in my bag to go to sewing seeds. Thought I'd show you my scrap shawl, what it's looking like. I can't find the color. I've got a ball of yarn. I know it's in here because I've seen it, that I want to put in after this gray. And then after the gray, I know I want to put in, I have no idea what this is, but it's got pink and green and white. A couple of shades of green. And I think I see some blue in there too. This may actually, yeah, and there's some different colors. So this may actually be one of those magic balls I started. This will eventually go in there. I'm just not sure where, because I've got a bunch of small, see that right there, that box right there has some really small, like quarter size. I don't throw nothing away. I'll make a magic ball out of it, unless it's super small, like just the ends that I cut off after I've wove in. And that I keep and use it for stuffing for amigurumi. When you're on a budget, you got to get sneaky with your stuff and figure out different ways to make it go farther. Since my yarn wasn't cooperating, wanting to be in that particular shawl, my scrap shawl, I came across some yarn that one of my granny gang members, one of my besties, she had breast cancer, and man, go if you feel even the littlest something in your breast, go get checked out. My dear friend, she didn't go get checked, and she knew it was there, but I guess she was afraid, and she didn't have any insurance. But screw it, if you owe a bill, you owe a bill. Go get checked. She waited until it had metastasized. It was in her liver, it was in her bone, and it just ate up her lungs. The reason she went to the hospital finally is because she couldn't breathe. And she thought she had some sort of bad flu or something, but it ended up being cancer. And she struggled for 3 years with it. The good news is the Lord took cancer away. Doctors couldn't find it nowhere in her body. Even the holes in her bone were closing up. You know, it was a miracle. But there was so much damage done to her lungs. And she had sleep apnea. And she couldn't and wouldn't wear a mask, so her lungs just kept getting more and more depleted. And finally, you know, she just lost her battle. It was actually her lungs that took her home to be with the Lord. And her precious family, I just love all them to pieces. They gave me her yarn stash, and there were 3 skeins of one particular yarn that I thought would really be nice to go in that wrap. And although I usually make most of my stuff for charity, occasionally I do make something for myself. So I figured if I took that yarn from my bestest and made this shawl out of it, I could wear it and it'd be like I was getting a hug from her. So now I worked on this last night, and I tore out the same 3 or 4 rows 5 or 6 times because I kept making mistakes in different places. But there it is. Isn't that a nice yarn? I have no idea what this is, but I believe from the feel of it, it doesn't feel like I think they have this color in Red Heart, but I don't feel this is a Red Heart. It feels more like one of the Nicole brand yarns. Yeah, I'm going to have to make it a whole lot bigger than this, but I think I'm really going to enjoy. I'm going to call this my Deborah wrap, because that was the name of my friend, was Deborah. Oh, I miss her something fierce. She was my partner in crime. Anytime there was something I wanted to do, as long as she was able to breathe, she'd go with me. And she's like me. She just loved food. Anything I wanted to eat, she was more than happy to go with me to eat at any place I wanted to eat. We'd try new things together. And she's just a very sweet and one of the most loving people I've ever known. It didn't matter who you were or what you did. She loved people, and she never met a stranger, and she had one of those smiles that would light up a room. I'm going to pause this. Okay, I'm back. That was Paw Paw. He was at the store, and there's a certain item that we've been looking at, trying to find in a certain store, and they've been out, and they finally got a shipment in, so he's getting that. And he's got the grandkids. They're going to go by the Dollar Tree because they like to go to play in the play place at McDonald's on the weekends. They come, and they can't do that because of the social distancing thing. So he's taking them to the Dollar Tree, and they're going to go in there right quick and get them a little something so they'll have their little toy. And then he's getting a McDonald's to go, so they get their chicken nuggets. And then they'll come back here and play in the yard. Pawpaw's got it set up. We're real kid friendly in the house. Oh my goodness, there he goes again. Hold on. He's all the time getting the wrong thing when I ask him to get something. There was another item I'd added on, and he's come back to make sure he'd got the right one. Seems like there's something else I was wanting to show you, but I don't see it now. I've been playing a lot of games online on my phone, and that's taken away from my crochet time because I've kind of lost my crojo just a little bit. It'll come back, always does. I ended up losing a subscriber after my last video. I didn't check to see if they left a comment. I didn't notice a comment before I checked my channel to see somebody because there's a couple people I subscribe to on Gab and Grammy that I don't subscribe to on my normal YouTube channel, my private one. So I wanted to check, see if anybody put out a video, and I just happened to notice I was down one. I wasn't happy about it. It didn't make me happy, but it's not going to be the last time, and I'm not really tore up over it. You know, if you don't enjoy my podcast, you know, there's women or men that I've subscribed to and been with them a while, and then just left because it wasn't my favorite, and I had so many to watch that I cut out a bunch of people and just kept the ones that I love the most. And I'm getting back out to where I'm subscribing to a few more because of I'm watching more YouTube. Although I do like the Hulu, I'm watching more YouTube, being shut in the house and not able to go nowhere. When I do crochet, I like to watch something. I still want to make the video for my hat, my charity hat. But like I said, this week it's just been so noisy in the house. There's no way I could make that video. The only way I could do it is just to walk you through it in the video like this, and that would only work for people who have never crocheted before. And I'd like to make it for so that people who have never made a hat, who don't know how to increase or change from one stitch to another, or crochet in a circle. I want everybody to be able to follow along. So I'd like to do one with my hands. But we'll just cross that bridge when it comes to it. I'll get to it eventually. I haven't forgot about it. Although I forget a lot of things. I haven't forgotten that. Although, like I said, I am at risk so far. I'm feeling good for how I feel. I don't always feel that great, but I'm not sick. Doing fairly decent. I talked to my oldest daughter this week, and she let me know that she is subscribed to my channel, and she loves to watch my videos, and they make her cry because we don't get to see each other that often. I see my excuse me, my younger daughter all the time, but my oldest, I only get to see her a couple times a year, so she really enjoyed having the videos where she can see her mama, and so that made me really happy. It's just a little bit of seeing a little bit of what I'm trying to do come to life. That made this worth doing. You know, it doesn't matter if I have 2 subscribers or if I have 200. As long as my kids are happy, then I'm happy. And I did have a lovely, excuse me, it's allergies. A lovely lady gave me a wonderful comment on one of my previous videos, and I just really appreciated that, so thank you very much. I can't remember her name right off. It was not a name that I'm familiar with, and I couldn't pronounce it for the life of me. I'd butcher it to death, so I'm not even going to try. But you know who you are. Yeah, you just a sweetheart, and I thank you so much. Now I'm getting brain farts again. And see, this is why I need a mask, because itch. I've got dry eye too, so I rub my eyes a lot. I'm just a mess. I am. It's just something else. Oh, dear me. Oh, I noticed in that one video I made, I think it was the last one, when I was reaching over trying to get things, but I kept going, oh. Oh, I'm sorry about that, but I hurt so much all the time, and I didn't even notice that I do it, but I do. Between the arthritis and all the other stuff, like I said, I'm a mess, but I like to think I'm a lovable mess most of the time. I love people who are lovable messes, cause ain't nobody perfect, and I'm not even gonna try. I do the best with what I got, and I trust my Lord for the rest. And I just wonder if my stance on love or my stance on the Lord is what lost that one subscriber. I'm just curious, but it doesn't really matter. If you love me, you love me. If you don't, you don't. I'm just gonna love you anyway, even if you don't love me. Okay, I'm drawing a blank. And if you see me looking up when I'm thinking, it's because I've got one of those computer desks that has a shelf. And up on my shelf and on the wall, I've got some decorations, something pretty to look at while I'm crafting. And so that's what I'm looking at. I believe there was a picture I shared on Instagram, showed the back. It had my doll head. I've got a different hat, my catch 'em all hat. That was for the twin grandson, and he was here, so I give that to him. It fit pretty good. If I had it to do over, I'd probably do one more row of single crochet, because just a hair short. And what I've got on my mannequin right now is a pattern I got from Margaret Olander. It's a spiral hat. I had glasses on her, but they just fell off because this hat is loose on my mannequin. Because she's got like what, maybe a 19-inch head, and my head's a 21-inch. That may be why that hat was small. I didn't think I thought I had rather a normal size of 21, because women are usually between 19 and 21, 22. Men's are usually 22s and 23s. If you're wondering about when you're making a hat, if you start at the top, you're making increase rows to a certain measurement, and then you make straight down for a certain measurement. If you ever want to know those measurements for different sizes, then Google the hat chart. There's several different ones out there on the internet, and look at, if you can't see it on what you Google, then go over to images. And I think there's several of the big girls like Bob Wilson and Bag of Day Crochet, and I believe Jada and Stitches might have charts on their, either on their websites or in their videos, or available somehow or another. But there are free ones out there, so just take a look, and if you get one of those, then it might make it easier. If you find one of those, print it or save it, so that when I do make my video showing you how to construct the hat, then you can make it, you can change what, I'll show you where to change it, so you can make it for whatever size you want, whether it's a little kid or grown up, or somebody big head, somebody little head. It's very customizable. It's just a basic hat patterns. There are so many hat patterns out there that are just like this one, is just a tad bit different, and I really enjoy it. My hair looks so short, but it's a little bit longer than that. I need to go have it cut. That's probably a few months yet. I usually cut it off in the summer, let it grow in the winter. And okay, I think that's it. I'm under a half hour, which is a good thing. I wish you love in your life. I wish you joy, and I wish that your yarn remain untangled. Feel free to subscribe, like, and share my videos. And always remember, not just gammies are in this game. We accept pawpaws and moon pies too. And yes, that is a reference. Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory, his Moomaw calls him moon pies. So if you're not a grandma yourself, you're somebody's moon pie. Well, you guys take care and stay safe. Bye-bye.